Welcome to Love in Focus, the power of communication in relationships. I'm Rika Löfström, and in this season we're diving deep into the most crucial aspect of any relationship, communication. Today's episode is all about why communication is the foundation of every strong relationship. Whether you're in a new relationship, married for years, or looking to strengthen your connection with your partner, the way you communicate can make all the difference. So let's explore why communication is so important, common pitfalls to avoid, and actionable steps you can take to improve the way you and your partner talk, listen, and connect. Why communication is the heart of every relationship. In this premiere episode of Love in Focus, the power of communication in relationships, the continuing journey, we explore why communication is the foundation of every strong and healthy relationship. From its role in building emotional intimacy and trust to actionable strategies like active listening, we'll dive into what makes communication so essential. Whether you're in a new relationship or have been together for years, this episode will set the tone for transforming the way you and your partner connect. Effective communication strengthens relationships by fostering mutual understanding, emotional connection, and trust. Poor communication, on the other hand, often leads to misunderstandings, unresolved conflicts, and emotional disconnection. Communication is not just about speaking, it's also about listening, understanding, and responding thoughtfully. So, what's the role of emotional connection, you might ask? Well, communication is the foundation of emotional intimacy, which involves sharing feelings, thoughts, and vulnerabilities with your partner. Feeling heard and understood by your partner builds trust and deepens your connection. Emotional intimacy through communication makes it easier to navigate conflicts and challenges. So here are some common communication pitfalls to avoid. Criticism, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Let's talk a little bit about them. Criticism. Avoid blaming your partner for issues. Instead, focus on expressing how you feel. Defensiveness. Practice listening rather than immediately responding to defend yourself. And stonewalling. Shutting down or avoiding a conversation altogether creates a communication barrier, which will only be detrimental to your relationship. It won't help it. Not in the long run, anyway. It might help for the short run, for just the moment, but not in the long run. Active listening involves focusing fully on what your partner is saying, reflecting their emotions and validating their feelings, and is way better than stonewalling. For example, if your partner says, "I feel like you're not making enough time for us," instead of getting defensive, try reflecting. "I hear you saying that you feel neglected, and that makes sense. Can we talk about how I can show up better for you?" You can also express how you feel without blaming your partner. Instead of saying, "You always forget to clean up," try, "I feel stressed when the house isn't tidy. Can we figure out a cleaning schedule together?" And then, of course, you can always dedicate 10 to 15 minutes to check in on each other and connect and talk about your day and any concerns that you might have. And don't forget to be curious and empathetic. Instead of assuming, ask questions to clarify your partner's perspective. "What's been stressing you out lately? Is there anything I can do to help?" can be an example to be empathetic. What is active listening? Well, active listening is a communication technique that focuses on fully understanding your partner's thoughts and feelings without interrupting or judging. So here are 4 steps to practice active listening. Give full attention, minimize distractions, and focus completely on your partner. Reflect back, repeat or summarize what you've heard to confirm understanding. Acknowledge feelings. Use phrases like, "I understand why you feel that way." And finally, avoid judgment or advice. Sometimes your partner just wants to feel heard and don't want to be judged by you, or that you should give them helpful advice that might not be as helpful as you might think, especially not when all they want to do is to know that you hear what they are saying. So Rachel and Tom, a married couple, often argued about household responsibilities. By implementing active listening, they began reflecting each other's concerns rather than reacting defensively. When Rachel expressed feeling overwhelmed, Tom responded, "I hear that you're feeling frustrated because you think I'm not doing enough. Let's talk about how I can help more." Rachel felt heard, and they began working as a team again. And this clearly shows that after learning about active listening, Rachel and Tom decided to change their approach. Instead of arguing or assuming, they started reflecting on each other's emotions during conversations. Over time, this helped them avoid misunderstandings, manage their expectations, and rebuild trust. Now, I of course need to tell you that the examples provided in this episode, including Rachel and Tom's story, are for illustrative purposes only. Results are not implied or guaranteed. Every relationship is unique, and outcomes depend on factors like the willingness of both partners to work on the relationship, external circumstances, and personal growth. It takes two to tango, right? Techniques shared in this podcast are tools to facilitate communication and growth, but should be adapted to fit your unique situation. For serious challenges, consider consulting a qualified relationship counselor or therapist. Thank you for joining us on this first episode of Love in Focus, the Power of Communication in Relationships. Don't forget to download the free transcription with additional tools and resources to help you practice what we've discussed today. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss the next episode, where we'll explore how communication helps build emotional intimacy and strengthen your bond. And as always, I'm Rika Löfström, your host on Love in Focus, the continuing journey. Thanks for watching.